There's a story about three blind men. One day, a person who can see calls these three blind men over and asks them to describe what an elephant looks like. None of them have seen an elephant in their life because they're blind. So the first blind man comes over and grabs hold of the elephant's tail and with absolute confidence claims that an elephant looks like a paintbrush. Next, the second blind man comes over and grabs hold of the elephant's leg and says with absolute certainty, an elephant looks like a tree. Definitely looks like a tree. Finally, the third blind man walks over and grabs hold of the elephant's trunk and with full confidence says that an elephant looks like an anaconda snake and both of you guys are wrong. The moral of the story is you can go your whole life only seeing one perspective, only seeing a sliver of the truth. But until you can see truly the whole picture, will you ever be able to see the whole truth? And Vipassana allows you to see the other 50% of reality. Our whole life, we're able to see, react, and observe the outer world, but we forget that the other 50% is our inner world. And Vipassana gives you the tool to observe your inner world objectively, scientifically, and non-reactionarily. You're able to observe what's going on inside without reacting. A lot of people have been asking about my 10-day silent meditation Vipassana retreat. I recently just sat in silence for 10 days and meditated using the method of Vipassana, one of the breathing techniques passed down from Buddha. And people have been asking about my experience. They're curious to know what Vipassana is like, what I learned from Vipassana, and how Vipassana changed me as a person. Vipassana taught me how to feel. Most of my life, I was dissonant and dissociated from how my body was feeling. I didn't know how to observe my mind, how to observe my body. And so instead I reacted to thoughts, reacted to the world. Vipassana allowed me to be able to commit to feeling for an hour. For 10 days, you sit on your meditation mat and you feel. The idea is that emotions, thoughts, stories, and feelings, all of these things that run through our head and disturb our peace, manifest physically in the body first as sensations. So with Vipassana, we break the cycle of thought, we break the cycle of vicious rumination of negative emotions by first observing our sensations. So for 8 hours of the day, you sit with your eyes closed and you feel. I would say Vipassana is a very pragmatic tool, very useful, very scientific. It's been so useful in my life. Now instead of randomly feeling things I don't want to feel throughout the day and not being in control of my emotions, I can now sit down and feel everything I need to feel in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. I can process everything deeply in an hour rather than processing things little by little throughout my day. Vipassana allows me to burn all my feelings, process everything. So at the end of the meditation, I feel light. I literally feel enlightened. Vipassana is very simple. It's just about feeling the sensations in your body and not running away from them. Vipassana has given me so much energy, or should I say, has allowed me to conserve my energy much better. What uses a lot of energy is a reacting mind. When your mind is constantly reacting, that takes up a lot of energy. It's like before Vipassana, your mind is a can of Coke that you keep throwing pezzes into, and it keeps exploding and exploding. And after Vipassana, your mind is just a can of Coke where you can choose to throw a pez in, but if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. You're able to control the reactions in your mind rather than letting them become chain reactions that cause you suffering and misery. Vipassana teaches you equanimity, and equanimity is your greatest welfare in this life. To be able to go through life without reacting will save you suffering and many others. This is my experience with Vipassana. I experienced truth with Vipassana, real truth.
Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha.